You sat down yesterday with Ireland's foreign minister / deputy prime minister. Ireland is a big supporter of the Palestinian cause. They give a lot of money to that effect. And you sat down with Simon Coveney and asked, really, first off, what does he think of Prime Minister Netanyahu's idea that's being floated of really pushing out UNRWA altogether, stopping the funding? What does he have to say about that?
Well, Jeff, as you said, Ireland traditionally a supporter of the Palestinian cause. Now, we should say Simon Coveney is not hostile to Israel. This is not Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan. This is someone who says he understands Israel's concerns. There are points on which the two countries agree, but certainly a lot of points of difference, none more so maybe on the issue of UNRWA. Again, asked him what he thinks of Prime Minister Netanyahu's plan or proposal to phase UNRWA out. Here's what he had to say.
We think that UNRWA is playing a hugely important role. In fact, today I committed €4 million of Irish taxpayers' money to support UNRWA for 2018. I visited an UNRWA school this morning, and the work that they are doing with young Palestinians, educating them, teaching them.
Oh, and we did some rough math right before the show. €4 million. First, that's millions of dollars, but when you break it down per capita, that's more per capita than even the U.S. gives. It's a big investment for Ireland.
There are some countries, Jeff, that do give more per capita, but it's certainly much more than the United States and some of the larger European countries. Ireland marking this as a priority. We should say that Simon Coveney also acknowledged that there have been issues with UNRWA, 2 staff members who were found to be members of Hamas. But his argument is that UNRWA dealt with those cases quickly, that it provides a good education. Again, presented him with the critique from many Israelis that the education program in UNRWA is inflammatory in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. He says that his government's checked it out, found it to be fine.
All right, speaking of the Ireland support for Palestinian causes, they do fund a particularly controversial NGO that's not just pro-BDS, they're pro bringing Israeli generals and army officials and politicians even to the ICC. What do you have to say about that?
This organization, Al-Haq, Jeff, just in September filed its 5th petition with the International Criminal Court, asking the court's prosecutor to launch an investigation into Operation Protective Edge and Israel's settlement program. So we asked Simon Coveney, isn't your government essentially funding the potential prosecution of Israelis? Here's what he had to say.
We fund a number of non-governmental organizations, and many of them are involved in taking legal cases. That's true. But, you know, that is part of a functioning democracy. You know, it's also not unexpected if you're a country that is occupying a territory with the responsibilities that come from that, and there are significant responsibilities, and you can be expected to be put under the microscope.
And Owen, the Palestinians have been saying, of course, the U.S. needs to have a much reduced role in the peace process. They're looking for Europe now for support. What does he have to say about U.S. involvement?
Well, certainly he wants Ireland involved and Europe involved, but as for the United States, here's what he had to say.
Unlikely that we're going to see any negotiated political solution to the Middle East peace process without involvement of the United States.